Yo, what's up guys? So in this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to use these 3 camera triggers because I don't know how to use the rest. What? Okay, well, zoom, static, and rotate. So we're going to do the 2 easiest ones out of these 3, which are rotate and zoom. So we're going to do those ones first. I'm just going to move that up there. The first one, rotate. These ones are both super easy, so it'll be fast. So you set this to the degrees. Of course, the degrees is like how much it turns. Like if I press 360, then it'll do an entire spin like that. If I do 180, then it will do like half a spin like that. Also, there is one more thing, the move time. This is how long it'll take it to move. If I set it to 0 seconds, then it will just do it instantly. Like that, see? Yeah, well, this is just the rotate trigger. There's also easings. I forgot about that. I'm just going to set this back to 0.5. There's like a bunch of easings I can do ease and out. That, of course, easings just make it like smoother and stuff. Alright. Well, I'm going to just delete that now. Next up is the zoom. This one's a lot like the rotate. Of course, we got the time, then the zoom. So with the zoom, the less that the number is, the more it'll zoom out. Then the more that the number is, the more it'll zoom in. So if I set it to 3, it'll zoom in a bunch like that. And if I set it to 0.4, then it'll zoom out like that. Then there's, of course, also easings. Yeah, there we go, easings. Yeah. And then that's basically it for the zoom trigger. Lastly, we got the static trigger. So this one's the hardest out of all of them. And then, so first you're gonna want to pick like any object. I usually like to do like one of these ones, usually the circle. Then give that a group. I'm gonna do group 2. You can do any group. I'll just do group 1. Then static. Then you're gonna edit object group 1. And then basically, without changing anything except for this, then it'll make the camera lock onto the object. And the player also can move off screen while it's locked on. And if you do X only, then it'll only lock it on the X position. So if I were to go up, it would follow the Y position, but not if I go side to side. See, like that. But if I do Y only, then it won't follow the X position, just the Y position. Like this. Or now there are a couple more things. There's the duration, which is just like the move time for the other triggers, is how long it takes. If I set it to like a 10 duration, then it'll take 10 seconds to glide over to that camera. Hold on, I forgot to turn that off. It'll take 10 seconds to lock onto there. And then if I set it to 0, then it'll do it instantly. And then these 2 things, exit static and exit instant. Exit instant, you don't really want to do anything. You don't really need that ever. Exit static, that's just when you want to like actually like exit the static position. That's when you like don't want your camera to be locked on here anymore. So like I'm just gonna set this back to 0.5. Copy, I can paste that right there. Then I can set this to exit static. You don't have to have a group here. You can just set that to 0. See, it'll do it onto there, then it'll go back here. And then there is one more thing that I would really use, which is the follow. And then there's like easings. If I set the easing to 50, then it'll like follow it really smoothly. I usually like to have this around like 5. 50 is just like insane. I barely ever use the follow, so I don't really have like a good easing thing to use. But if I give group 1, like if I make it move by the X100, even without an easing, it'll still like follow it good. Then the higher of the easing, the smoother it'll be. If I set it to 50, then it'll really follow it good, like smoothly. Like that. That's pretty good for like if you're making like a cutscene or something. Maybe if you're making a cutscene, maybe like do like 25 or something. I gotta test this out. Yeah, I think 25 would be good if you're doing a cutscene. But if it's for like an actual, just like a part of the level, maybe like 5 or 10. You already tried 5, so let's do 10. Like that, yeah. You don't even have to have an easing on here. If you add an easing onto here, then it'll just ease it even more. Like that, see? That looks pretty cool. Alright, yeah, then if I just like maybe make like another exit static right here. Exit static, then the following, I don't think that works for exit static. I think you can only use the easings down here. Like, yeah, there is easings down here. That basically just like changes how smooth it is if you go here without the follow, without using the follow. Of course you can use the spawn and touch trigger for all 3 of the triggers that I showed you. I deleted the other 2, but yeah, you can use those. Yeah, that's really it for the tutorial. See you guys in the next one. Bye.